bravefathers.com. Welcome to the Brave Fathers Show. And now, the prophecy.
We are back, and we are still fighting the good fight. Still fighting the good fight. So, we have a problem on our hands. And what's that problem? The Western males are devalued every day, all the time. Men are being made to look like they are not just abusive and horrible creatures, but they're also made to look like they are dumb. They are essentially inferior to women. And there was a time where this kind of ideology was fringe. It was just, something people would laugh about. And of course, some people took it seriously. And so seriously that today it seems to be the prevalent mindset. And in fact, if you go against that mindset, you risk losing your job, you risk losing your family, you risk losing your friends. But the reality is that men are the ones who keep the society together, we build the world. And yet it feels like society is crumbling. So by logic, you can only assume that something is affecting men in a way that it's affecting the rest of the society. And we are not yet seeing the full effects of it, but we will get there soon enough and we will see what's happening. And in a response to some of these issues, especially when it comes to relations with women, romantic relations, dating, family, having children, in response to all that, we've had the red pill and a perhaps bigger superset of content creation and audiences related to issues that affect men. We have the manosphere, the so-called manosphere, which is essentially a loose term to describe the content creators and the audiences that are of interest to men. So recently, of course, there was a very silly documentary which I've not watched. I've only seen snippets, but based on what I'm seeing as the premise, and I still haven't reviewed the trailer, which I will do. Based on what I'm seeing, it's a silly documentary and it's mocking men, right? And it's selected a few men to represent the manosphere. Of course, those men do not represent the manosphere. They're just a few people who are within a larger sphere of men creating content for men. Now, I have been very critical of the red pill. And I'm going to tell you today my premise, which is that red pill and the manosphere as a whole, as it stands, essentially leads men towards what feminism wants. It creates the illusion that men are freeing themselves, but really they are just entrapping themselves and going deeper into the trap. And it's similar to a horror movie. I'm going to spoil it for you now. So if you've not seen The Skeleton Key, this is going to be a spoiler. So for about a minute or so, don't listen if you don't want to know what happened in the movie, but I love horror movies. But in Skeleton Key, the woman found a way to protect herself from the evil spirits, right? So you put this circle around yourself, like a voodoo thing or something like that. And it's supposed to protect you from evil spirits. And you cast a spell, and that's supposed to keep you safe, right? But in reality, that circle actually traps you and makes it easier for the evil spirits to get to you. So she was working so hard thinking she was protecting herself, but she was trapping herself for the evil spirits to get her. And I think the red pill is the same thing. And my criticism is not as harsh as it was in the beginning, because I realized that we are all learning, we are all figuring this thing out as it comes at us. So it would be unfair to judge something that has good intentions. I was online fighting against the same thing until I was essentially cancelled before cancellation became a thing. before the red pill existed, before anybody knew of the manosphere, before most people actually were online watching content, right? And so what really irritated me and still irritates me sometimes is when the red pill says stuff claiming that it's red pill, but it's actually things that other people created that became appropriated. It's not really that big of a deal, but it's annoying when people don't understand how things started. And I think that's why they don't understand the trap of red pill. But let me get to the heart of the matter. So one of the most important assertions of red pill, which claims to teach about male-female dynamics, dating dynamics, and so forth, is that women are born with their value and men have to earn their value. Let me say that again. Red pill claims, or the red pill aficionados that I'm familiar with, claim that men have to earn their value, but women are born with their value. And this is especially important when it comes to sex and dating. Now, on the surface, it may look true. And a lot of people who follow the red pill would say, yeah, that's my experience. I've had to earn my value. And the women just exist, and I have to prove myself to them, do things to impress them in order to have them, which is not true in reality, but that is their experience. But I'll show you why it's not true, that you have to do that. I'm not saying if you do that, you will not get women. Simping gets you women. Begging for pussy will get you some pussy, right? You can beg your wife for vagina and she'll open her legs for you if you beg her long enough. So it's not like those things don't get you there. But feminists also want men to be beneath women. They want men to earn women. Society as a whole makes it seem like women are the prize of marriage and it's an achievement, an accomplishment to have one, especially if she's very good looking, and to marry her and to have exclusive sexual access to her. It is viewed as something precious and important and valuable, and religions will support this, and the red pill supports this, and the feminists do support this as well, even though indirectly. But in the end of the day, the effect the feminists want is for men to be subdued and to be subject to women, which that's what happens when you think you have to earn your value. Because think about it. Think about it this way. You see a female that is 21 years old, 22 years old, maybe 24 years old, whatever, 29. And then you see a guy who worked 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, maybe even 40 years of his life. And he bought himself a yacht, right? Or rented one because he can afford that now. So he leased one. And this one just shows up at the party and is, if she's good looking enough or if he finds her attractive enough, this man who worked 20 years thinks he's finally worthy of her. And because he wants a 21-year-old vagina, he will spend lavishly on her and invite her to his yacht, even though she contributes nothing other than looking good and potentially opening her legs. So now we see this as normal. We see this as the way to live. We see this as, yeah, that's what it is. Because, the pickup artists will say that the hot chicks play by different rules and all kinds of nonsense. And you see, this is where I'm struggling when I try to help people. Because if you think this way, if you accept this as true, and then you end up in a family court, then you can't be surprised that the judge thinks the same way. Especially when there is an alternative, when you don't have to follow society when it comes to dating. You don't. Look, that same girl that is 21 years old and in public will say, yes, she wants a six-figure guy, a rich guy, whatever. That same girl has somebody fucking her who is broke She's not going to say this in public because society will punish her for it. Right? It's like similar to like a Romeo and Juliet kind of story where you're not allowed to date this person or from this family or from this background. The society will act like that. So she's not allowed to have sex with that guy from a poorer neighborhood who works in a warehouse carrying boxes, and she likes him. And the proof that that's the case is people like to live in denial of this. The proof of that is in when you have people, women around men, and nobody knows anybody's background, you will see who the woman gravitates to. And I'll tell you why that is in a moment. But you see it, and then parents, friends, and so forth, society will say, no, you can't date that guy. He's not good enough for you. It's a shame for you to take care of this guy. When you watch all these podcasts, Red Pill podcast even, when you see all these girls come on, many of them say, yeah, I was supporting the guy financially for 2 years, 3 years, and I'll never do that again. Right? And the reason why they won't do that again is because the guy broke their heart. It's not because they didn't want to support the guy financially or they have a problem being with that guy. And you see, I know it hurts the feelings of guys who have worked hard their whole lives thinking that will get them women. But that's the exact trap and that's the exact lie. Because one thing the society can do is deceive you to make you think that what you are doing, is productive for you. And many people have found out the hard way. They'll go to university, get a degree, and then they can't find a job, right? Or the only job they can get is at McDonald's, and they have a PhD, right? So they get angry with society, or they have to get a job selling windows, right? Because nobody is gonna hire them. So it's clear to me that the societal deceit has become so ingrained in our culture, in all Western cultures, that people, including men, will fight anybody who tries to oppose it. So I'm sure by now, many of my listeners are upset or offended by this because I get people arguing against me on X all the time. I just argued before going live now because people don't understand this reality. So the premise I'm attacking today from the red pill is that men have to earn their value and women are born with their value. Here's what I propose to you instead. I'm saying that men were born with their value, but men are taught to discard their value from the time they're a little boy. Men are taught not to be masculine, not to be men, not to be themselves. They are taught to fit the persona and the archetype that the society wants them to be. They are psychologically shaped to be drones in the society, to be worker drones. That is how males are shaped from childhood. Women, on the other hand, are taught to extract resources from men. They are told, look, make sure he deserves you, make sure he works hard for you, right? Make sure he provides for you, make sure he protects you. And men think, yeah, we have to protect women. No, you don't have to protect women. You don't have to protect women. That's part of your gift to the society, to protect women and children and those who are weaker than you. It's something that you give to the society. It's not your obligation. Now, of course, legally, you can be forced to do it. And everybody knows that when you force a military to fight, they don't fight well. And I'm not saying I'm against a protecting society. Of course, I'm not. I rely on society's protection myself, just like anybody does. Even the most hardened criminal in the West relies on the police to protect him. Right? So that would be stupid of me and hypocritical to say, no, I'm against that protection. But what I'm saying is a gift. It's something we respect. It's something we appreciate. It's not a given. And the question is, what is the woman obliged to do for you? What are women obliged to do for us? But the society teaches us all these obligations on our part, on the part of boys, little boys, children, but none on the female side. And that mentality is reinforced by the red pill. Inadvertently, it is. The problem with red pill is the guys who started it, they came from a frustrated background. These are not players. These are not guys who were going out as kids, as young boys, as young adults, young men, to meet women and dating and had mentorship and all that stuff. No, 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 no. These guys were frustrated with women and then discovered they were screwed over by the system. So the starting point of what they had was weakness. The starting point is that of a man who has to earn his value, because they never understood that they have value, that you have a value, you as a man. That is one thing they don't understand. So everything they talk about hypergamy and all that bullshit, it only applies if you don't understand value as a man. Now, let's be real. You cannot guarantee that any human being will love you for the rest of your life, whether it's a man or a woman. I'm sure you have male friends that are no longer your friends, or they are no longer around, or they betrayed you, or you just, fell apart, right? Just like you probably have family members who don't support you, who are not on your side. So of course, women will do at some point the same thing, possibly, but that's not because of hypergamy or because of anything else. It's because that's what human beings do. You have betrayed people yourself, I'm sure. We've all made mistakes. I have made mistakes. I look back, every day I think back of things I've done that I wish I hadn't done. That I like, what, that was a betrayal on my part. Maybe I didn't intend to do that, but that's the effect of it. And if you care about that person, you make amends. You do your best to apologize, to make it up to that person, right? I know I've done that. But women will choose the highest bidder because it's available to them. If you throw money at women, of course they'll take it. I will take it, right? It's available to them, so they take it. But in secret, they have men they really want. And the reality is that, and I know people hate this, but the reality is that those guys have so many women, they don't want to settle with any one of them. And then, of course, there's that frustration that, they were sleeping around, and later they want to come back to you when you've made it. But were they sleeping around with rich guys? Let's be honest, were they? People say Chad and Tyrone, were they really sleeping with the best looking guys? They were not, and they are not. They are sleeping with the most confident guys, the guys who approach them, the guys who make moves. Now, it's not every girl who's going to accept you, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, you could be the richest, best looking guy on earth. You're never going to have every woman you want. That's just not how it works. It just doesn't work that way. So, a lot of the things that the red pill feeds into is just the lack of understanding on our Western males' part of how reality works. And it presents them with an alternative reality. And it looks real, but it's not real. It's just like kids. I've had a kid tell me, oh, all the adults say that Santa is real, but only you say that Santa is not real. I'm like, Santa is not real. Oh, but how come this? How come the cookie? How come the milk? How come the presents? I was good and I got presents. And everybody else is saying it's true to the child, because that's a mechanism that is used to control the child, to get the child to behave as the adults want the child to behave, right? We tell the children, Santa is not going to give you a present if you don't behave. So the children behave, or they do their best. It's the same thing. When they tell you looks, money, and status is gonna get you girls, it's not. The looks Maxim poster boy, what's his name? Clavic, clavicular was crying the other day on stream when because he realized everybody doesn't like him. All these girls just want clout because that's what they want. They don't give a shit about him smashing his face with the hammer. Like, when on planet Earth do you think this woman they're getting horny because of look at all these guys smashing their faces with hammers? No, no. I've never watched his full videos. I doubt he actually did that in the way he's portraying it, because I'm certain he has a very good content team, and I'm sure he's got a very good manager and he's got a very good agency. 100%, probably one of the top in the world, managing his stuff, creating this illusion for people to follow. Like, people actually believe when they watch a live stream of Clavicular with girls in a club, and they think it's real, right? Just like some people watch reality TV and they think it's real. They don't realize it's all a setup, that everybody is paid to be there. Everybody knows what's on. So that's for the looks part. Money, status. We all know about Amber Heard. We all know about, what's her name? Caroline Flack. Jada Pinkett Smith was the Bachelorette bitch the other day. Right? All those females are connected to rich, wealthy guys with status and so forth, yet they still disrespect them, they still devalue them. Those guys, if it was about money, men would not be screwed over in divorce. If the money made the woman want the man, she wouldn't say, I'm leaving you with half your shit. She would want the man, but she wants the money. And how many guys have been frustrated because the woman left them for somebody with way less money? I remember I was working with this guy. He was a director of an organization. He had another job as some kind of high-level management job. And his wife left him for one of the drivers that was like 5 steps in the corporate hierarchy below him. He didn't get it because he thought his status, his position somehow made him more valuable. And I'm sure a lot of the red pill gurus realize this as they keep going. But it's a painful thing to accept that, wait a minute, so you're telling me the 100 girls I slept with just wanted to sleep with me because of my money and the clout? Yes. Women would do that. Men would do that if they had the chance. And I'm here to tell you that you have a chance. A lot of the issues we are facing, we don't need the system to change for the situations to change. Right? We are not going to save everybody. That's not going to happen, because it's very sad when you read the online comments, because people think social media is real life. Let me talk about something else before we get back to this. Another topic that is talked about is the male loneliness epidemic, which is another bullshit. I'll tell you why it's bullshit. It is not male loneliness. It's men who want women in their lives and can't have them. Because if it was loneliness, men could get together and have friendships and they will not be lonely. It's not that they are lonely, they want women. Right? The CEO of OnlyFans just passed away. May his soul rest in perfect peace. He just passed away at a very young age. I'm sure some people are celebrating. But OnlyFans, I looked at the figures, I looked at the company report, and they had over 300 million fan accounts. That is more than the population of the United States of America and UK combined. That means everybody you know has everybody you know has an OnlyFans account, or you probably know someone who does, or maybe you have an OnlyFans account, right? So almost 400 million people And there's about 4 million creators, right? Obviously, mostly female. So there's almost a ratio of like what, 85 fans to a creator. So every single bitch on there has got like at least 80 people available to her. No wonder they're making so much money. No wonder they are making so much money. No wonder. So OnlyFans preys on the fact that men don't know how to attract women. So it's so bad for such a large number of males that they'll pay for a semblance of companionship, to the degree that people hire workers who work with the models and type messages back and forth. I'm sure some use AI as well. But that's how bad it's gotten. So it's not male loneliness epidemic. It's just men wanting females. And OnlyFans capitalize on it. There is a documentary which I saw a little bit of the trailer, but I refuse to watch the whole thing because I don't like OnlyFans as a concept, and I'll explain why. I'm not against it as a business, but for me, I cannot. I have no desire in me to watch something that is meant to arouse me in order for me to pay for it. Like that's, to me, I find that degrading for me, because I feel like the woman should feel privileged for me to be interested in her. My attention is a privilege. I don't owe it to her. I'll definitely not pay for me to give her attention, right? But the documentary is called Lonely Fans. Check it out. It looks like it's a good documentary. Lonely Fans, and it probably goes deeper into the situation. I just don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at those females. You see? So a lot of these things that the Red Pill, the Manosphere talks about, starts from a point where it's a point of weakness. Now, if a man has been trained from birth that his value lies in him being able to provide and protect, of course he would think that that's the way it is, and he doesn't know any other way, because it takes time to develop your confidence when you deal with women. It's a skill, but it's not a skill like the pickup artists teach, because that's another bullshit theory, another bullshit ideology. It's not a skill where you deceive the woman. You literally, all dating really is being able to walk up to a woman and say, listen, I find you attractive, in whatever way you want to tell her that. Let's get together to do X, whatever it is that you want to do with her. Whether it's a date or sex, go for a movie, go whatever it is you think you want to do with the woman. That's all. There's no shorter way to it. Everything else is a waste of time and energy. It's like mathematics. You have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And strictly speaking, you could arrive at those things with just addition and subtraction, right? So I don't know. My nose keeps itching. My skin feels dry today. Spring is starting, so I think the allergies might be kicking in. So now, if all the man knows is that his value is from providing and protecting women, he's not going to have the skill of attracting women. Just like a child needs to walk, it takes many, many months for a child to walk. It takes years for a child to become a sprinter, an Olympic sprinter, to be at the highest level of it. It definitely takes years for the child to be a competitive runner, right? But to be able to walk as we do, it takes some time. But the same way, being yourself it takes time to learn who you are. Just like walking is part of you, but how you walk in your specific body, you have to work it yourself. And the same way, being yourself, you have to learn how to be yourself. You have to get to know who you are. The reason why people get upset when it says just be yourself is because they don't know who they are. Because they didn't practice that. What they practice is the archetype and the persona that the society told them to be. One of the things that I hate is when people say, oh, model James Bond. Why? Why? That's James Bond. That's him. Yes, you could copy some of his attractive qualities and attract a woman who would dump you because she realizes that's not who you are. But you have to develop your own qualities. So men are now imitating other men, like people watch this clavicle or clavicula or whatever the fuck, and try to imitate him whilst he's failing himself because he's not himself. He's just building a character. He's still acting anyway, but some of it is real. But I'm sure he knows, I hope he knows better than what he's portraying, right? People are copying him. You don't need a role model. Your dad was supposed to be a role model, but that's a model, not something to replicate exactly. You ultimately have to find out what makes you attractive. Like what makes me attractive is different from what makes you attractive, or makes your best friend attractive, or makes Justin Bieber attractive, and whoever else in the world. Everybody is different, right? Justin Bieber doesn't sing the same songs as Michael Jackson, right? Or Keith Urban or whoever. Like everybody is different. What makes an artist last long is their unique songs, their unique style. When you hear it, you're like, oh, that's him. And it's the same with dating and relationships. You have to go, oh, that's him. There's certain things I would say or do. People who know me is like, yeah, I would say that or I would do that because that's me. So some would argue, oh, but the red pill does not negate that. I say it negates that by saying you have to earn your value, that you have to have looks, money, and status. Because indeed, there are people for whom that is their leverage point. It's not the whole thing, but it's a leverage point. But ultimately, that tells you you don't have value at all. Your value comes from external things. That's what it tells you. And you may believe it, but that's what makes you unattractive to women. That's what makes it easy for the system to manipulate you. Like people get so frustrated, and it is painful and hard when you lose all your stuff or half your stuff. Like I've gone through it. Like I've gone, I've been at the rock bottom. And it's hard when you climb out and you have to, but it's not the end of the world. You are built for this. The reason why men get frustrated is not just because of the money, it's because their identity is tied to the money. Their identity is tied to their role as the boyfriend and or as the husband. Right? So as men, we always, we do identify with these things sometimes, but that is not the right way to be. You have to learn to become an absolute. I have these people online, which like it's gotten so bad that people begging for pussy are seen as dating gurus. Begging for vagina has become a legitimate way of getting women. Like people respect that now, like because at the end of the day you got sex, so people see it as it worked. That's how bad it is. Where I remember going out, approaching girls, getting rejected left, right, front, back, boom, get back in there, go to the bathroom in the club or in the bar, wherever, put some cold water on my face, vroom, 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 vroom. Whew, go back out there. Some nights nobody would even be interested in me. I'll go back home. I was so angry, so sad, like, why is this happening to me? But because I knew there were guys out there who were getting girls, I was like, nah, 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 nah. I'm gonna be like them. I'm gonna be like them. I'm not gonna give up. And I'll go back out. And then I'll meet someone. And I used to like kissing. So like I didn't like sleep around really much because I didn't really know much about sex, and I had a lot of hang-ups about sex as well because of how I was raised. But I used to make out with tons of girls, like hundreds, because I would go out every single day, every single day. And it got to a point I would almost every time I would meet a girl to make out with, like almost every day, a new different girl, because I put so much effort into it. It doesn't mean that the first girl I approached was interested in me, but I was always approaching girls. So people knew me for that. But I didn't know that I had a lot of anxiety about sex because I didn't show it. But I did for a long time. Wow, this is the first time I'm really saying this in public, but it is what it is. It's the truth. Maybe I've said it before, but it's anyway, it is what it is. I had a lot of anxiety. So I was making out with all these girls. I wasn't sleeping with them. Even when they were asking for sex, I didn't do it because I wasn't sure of myself. But I made up with hundreds of girls. And through that, I learned a lot about what actual female nature is. And female nature is not really important. It's not really important to learn because female nature is such that, simply put, they will follow the society. And this is not my quote, but it's true. I learned this quote from Locario. He got it from, I think it's called Mr. Limba channel or something, but it's true from in my experience that the woman will either follow the man or the society. And the modern woman follow society, but also the modern men don't lead. And they will tell you, oh, I can't lead because of feminism, blah, 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 blah. You have to lead regardless. And we have to understand what it means to lead. But before you can lead a woman, you have to lead yourself. You have to be able to put a structure in your life that works. And it is that structure that gives you confidence, not the external commitments. If right now, let's say you are broke, you're sleeping on a blanket on the floor, right? And I've been there, sleeping on a thin mattress. I don't want to talk about those material things, but let's just say you don't have anything. And then you say, okay, I'm gonna put a structure in my life to get out of the situation. That drive will make you attractive to women. Not because of the promise of the material goods, because women don't care about that. They care about the comfort it gets, but they don't know the difference. Most of us don't know the difference. I don't know the difference between $200 million and $2 billion. Like I'm sure you may be, some of my viewers may have that experience, but I have not managed $200 million before. Not yet. So at some point, I will know what it's like. But I don't know the difference. The same way women don't know the difference because they don't care. Most people really don't care. Most of us don't care. Once we are comfortable enough, once we have the basic things we need, a bit of extra, we are fine. Even when you have lots of money, what do you buy? More expensive variations of what you'd buy when you have less money. Buy $1,000 beer bottle will get you drunk just like a $10 beer bottle. Or I don't know how much you pay for your beer, right? If I buy a nice whiskey, a simple whiskey for 40, let's say $70, $50. Yeah, I like my whiskey and it's nice when it's $300, but really, does it really matter? Does it really matter? And I'm not saying that those things are not good or not important. What I'm saying is those are not the things that define you as a person. You define those things. You make them valuable. You make them cool. You make things valuable. Like when you look at a model, right? Whether male or female, modeling clothes. It's not the clothes that define the model. No, the model gets paid because when people see the model wearing the clothes, they're like, oh, that looks good. And they walk in a certain way. They show a certain level of confidence, charisma, right? And that's what makes people want to buy the clothes. This is what I'm saying. It's the person, is you who make this happen. But as a man, you've been taught that you have no value, that your car has value, that your bank account has value, that your looks are your value. Then people get baffled. Why, like, what's his name? Piers Morgan. Wasn't his wife cheating with the pool boy or something? If it was all about money and status, why didn't she go for one of the rich friends? Or she already has a rich husband. Why did she have to go to somebody who has so much less money than her? And guys don't want to accept this because then it makes them look like, okay, then that means there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. Just that from childhood, you've been taught to think less of yourself. From childhood, you've been trained that because you're male, you are worth less and that you should devalue yourself. So when you see a female who brushes you off, even though you feel embarrassed and insulted and hurt, you're supposed to swallow that because that shows you're a man, and you're supposed to keep pursuing her until she says, you know what? Yeah, I like you now. Like we see that in every fucking movie. I- Instead of being your true self and be like, you know what? I didn't like the way she spoke to me. I'll go and talk to somebody else. And yes, sometimes it stings. Rejection stings. That's why, like I said, I used to go to the bathroom in the club, splash cold water on my face to get over it. You've got to, it's gonna take work regardless. Because you have to find the best one for you. You have to find who's best for you, who's right for you, and who you are right for, who's compatible with you. Leading means the person wants to follow. She wants to ask you, when you say, I want you to go out with me. All right. And then she follows you wherever you take her. You tell her, listen, meet me at 5 o'clock at this bar. What should I wear? Yeah, wear a black dress. That's what you want. People think, oh, it's wrong to tell women what to wear. That's bullshit. It's only when they don't like you. Don't listen to that nonsense. When she likes you, she wants to know what you like. She wants to please you. She wants to be the kind of woman you want. But it's not going to be the first woman you meet. It's not going to be the 100th woman you meet. I put a comment today to a man who was saying he approached like 5 girls or 10 girls or something. I'm like, nigga, if you're not approaching 100 girls, 100 women in a month, you're not serious about finding a woman. Not because women are not good, it's because you have to find the right match. And people think 100 girls, that's like 3 girls a day. So if you go out, let's say 4 weekends, Monday, Friday, Friday, Saturday, you go out. So that's 8 nights. So that's like what? So that's 6, 8 girls a day. And when you talk to them, you don't need to talk to them for a long time. Hey, what's up? My name is James. My name is John Paul. My name is Mike. Whatever your name is. How you doing? Yeah, I have a boyfriend. Boom, you're done. Next. Every girl I've dated, not every girl, but like most of the girls I've dated, that's how I met them. Hey, my name is this. What's up? What's up? Oh, I like how you do this. I like how you walking. I like your legs, whatever. Like I have my style. I'm not saying do my style. I don't like to waste my time, but I also know how to be charming. But again, it's something that I'm still learning. I'm still improving. It's something that you have to do. People talk to me like, after I've finished my family court case, what do you think I went to do? Of course, I went back into the dating market. I hate to use that word. To the dating world. The difference between me and most people, most guys out there, is that I'm not phased by all the stuff that are part of the game. Just like you have women you don't realize that are looking at you secretly and you are not interested in them. They are hurting too. But you don't like them. Maybe she's too chubby for you. Maybe she's too skinny for you. Maybe she's too uh, regular shaped for you. Maybe she's too athletic for you. Whatever it is you like. Every guy is different. Every guy is different. So the reason why I'm saying this with this is that The stuff I'm telling you about is the stuff you're supposed to learn as a boy. And feminism has taken that away. And then red pill basically takes over where feminism fucked you up. The red pill picks you up from there. But that's not supposed to be your starting point. That's what I'm trying to say. The point where your ex screwed you, your baby mother screwed you, that girl screwed you over, your girlfriend, whoever. That's not supposed to be your starting point. That's where you didn't know better and you wound up in that situation. And he's not supposed to now view women as hypergamous and monkey branching or whatever the fuck all that. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to realize, oh, most women are not for me. Out of 100 women, only like 4 are right for me. Not that the 96 are bad, some will be bad, but it doesn't matter because they're just not for you. That's the reality. If you can't accept that reality, then nothing can help you because then that means you are not willing to go and talk to 100 women because you think it's too much rejection, da 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 da. And then what happens? You go for the one that acts like she likes you. And then you are back in square one, providing for her, protecting her. And what? Is she not gonna monkey branch or whatever the fuck Red Pill says he's gonna do? It's gonna be the same story again. It's going to be the same story again. And listen, I work in family courts. I've had my own problems in family courts, so I know how unfair the system is. I know how unfair society is to men. It is unfair to men. The problem is when we take the stance, a defensive stance from day one, that we have to earn our value, and we believe it. That's what allows the system to take advantage of us. Because you're not thinking she has to earn my protection. She has to earn my providing for her. You're not thinking that. You're thinking, how do I impress her? And I remember one of my mentors told me, because I used to do the same thing, and he told me, like, look, yeah, you've taken a defensive position. You don't realize that they have to pass your criteria. And I thought, yeah, but when I do that, all of them are walking away. It's like, yeah, they're supposed to walk away because those are not for you. But what society will make you believe is that if one woman rejects you, all women will reject you. If 100 women reject you, that means you're a loser. Like I've even seen people post, like if you approach 1,000 girls, it means you're a loser. What the fuck? They'll tell you, you know, you're not supposed to date more than one person at a time. Yes, you are. You don't have to, but you have to speed it up. You're not obliged to be committed to the first woman who has sex with you. And I know some guys want that, and they'll have to learn the hard way. They'll have to learn the hard way. You know, when I say these things, it hurts because I've realized how contra it is to everything. I'm talking against what the society is saying. I'm talking against what the feminists are saying. I'm talking against what the red pill is saying, and a large section of the manosphere. So who the fuck am I? And I tell them I'm the truth. I am the prophecy. But here's the thing. You are the truth too. To you. You have to realize that, listen, every single thing in your life that you want, every single moment in your life has to be built by you. The woman you want, that you want to attract, you have to build a structure for her to fit in. And people say, oh, listen, you've never done it, so you don't know. You can't read feminist theory, red pill theory, manosphere theory, and all that bullshit and build a model of the world based on that. You have to go out there, get some scars, get some rejections, feel some pain, and then feel a lot of joy too. I remember this one night, this girl, I didn't even know she had like tens of thousands of followers. Like, I didn't even know she had tens of thousands of followers on Instagram and that bullshit because people think those girls are special or something. I didn't even know. I didn't find out until like we were fucking for like weeks. I think by mistake she showed me. I don't know. I don't care. I don't even care about that. Like it doesn't make a difference to me if you are like Scarlett Johansson or Wendy from next door. Like it doesn't make a difference to me. Yeah, in business it does. In private life, I don't care because it doesn't matter. Because those things are a novelty only for so long. At some point, the real person comes out. Ask Johnny Depp. Ask Will Smith. Ask, what's the name? The guy who was dating Caroline Flack. Ask him. The Bachelorette guy. All these people, like, ask them. All this. What was the guy on Bill Maher's show? The actor, I can't remember his name. He was a famous actor, and his wife beats him, and his daughters beat him. He's rich and famous, good looking. Pause. So he earned his values? Hasn't Johnny Depp earned his value? So why is he still being treated like shit? There are men who are working minimum wage jobs who get treated better than how Johnny Depp was treated by Amber Heard. So that's a fallacy. But you see, it's a fundamental belief that affects men. It's a fundamental belief that makes men feel inferior to women. And it's a fundamental belief that stops you from seeing your true value. But unfortunately, regardless of your age, you could be 60 right now, you could be 40, you could be 45, you could be 50, 30, 20, whatever your age is. You've never been told by people who matter to you that, look, they are glad you're a boy. I'm so proud of you. I'm happy that you're a boy. And I'm happy to have a son. And it's so good to be a man. It's something to be proud of, something to cherish. You've not been told that. So you don't know it. You don't know it on the visceral level, right? Again, like I was lucky to find all these mentors, but I sought them out. I just had this instinct as a young kid that, look, something just is not right. And because I was this disruptive kid, I was this kid that I never followed. Not true. When I was like little, I tried to follow. I tried. And at some point, due to whatever circumstances, I couldn't. So because of that, I didn't have the same mindset that a lot of people were indoctrinated with. And that's what broke me out of the system. And I started to realize that why people just following these things blindly. And I realized that, wait a minute, there's things I don't know. There are things I don't know about women and dating. So I said, I'm going to meet people that I've heard of. That's what I literally did. Right? And if you are from before the internet became a thing, you know, there was guys who were popular. You hear people's names, like he's a player, like you've never met this person, but you've heard of them, right? And I said to myself, I'm going to meet those people and I'm going to learn from them. And I was lucky that some of them taught me a few things. That did not save me from still having to face the fact that I didn't know how to choose the right woman. But it helped me get out of the situation faster. A lot of people, when I tell them my results in courts, I got really good result in family court. I got a shared live with order. If I knew what I know now, I would have had even a different outcome. But I don't want to state that on air now. And people think I was lucky. I wasn't lucky. I took my time to work a system, to create a system for myself. I've literally made notes. Look, I make notes. I have notebooks like this with notes to analyze the system, read case law, talk to lawyers, lots of lawyers, got lots of free consultations, advisors, all kinds of people, all kinds of people, social workers. I spoke to loads of people to figure out how the system works. And I developed a system for myself, and that's what I've worked with. And believe me, even with the system, it's very difficult because the system is stuck against you, the court system. But again, by not knowing your value, you make it easier for the system to take advantage of you. One thing that throws them off guard is when you know how to stay calm in court. One thing that throws them off guard is when you know how to answer their questions, when you show up confident, when you show up prepared. I don't know why, women initiate all the divorces. Why are men not initiating the divorces? Why are men taught to stay with disrespectful wives? I don't get it. People want to reconcile with women who abuse them. And now it's taboo to talk about it, about female abusers. And I don't know the full story of the Bachelorette, but I know she apparently cost, is it Disney, $100 million, right, for what she did. But I know a lot of guys would stay there if she only had sex with them, because she has, she's a good looking woman. It's crazy. So my point is, the red pill says, yeah, they're gonna teach you about how it works. But the mechanics of whatever they tell you fail because on the fundamental level, the stance is the same as what the feminists say. Men deserve less than women. Men are worth less than women. Men have to prove themselves. Your purpose is not in life, is not to make money. What does it stay on your purpose? Your purpose is not to make money. Money is part of life. We make money, but your purpose is whatever it is that you are designed to do. That's your purpose. And you make money because that's how you survive. That's how you provide for yourself. And of course, the people who deserve your protection and for you to provide for them. The woman you just met does not deserve a $200 dinner from you. And I know most guys will ignore this, but it's the truth. So I'm going to look deeper into this. I want to have a deeper discussion, but my stance is really that we can change the world. We can change the world. We must change the world. We can't continue like this. We can't continue a society where men are devalued. We can't continue to be inferior to women. We can't do this anymore. But the way we do this is by being our best selves, not by running away from it, not by trying to please every woman, not by ignoring the problems, not by waiting politicians to change it because they don't care. The society is comfortable as it is, including males. We do it by building ourselves up and by first looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, man, I love you. You are the truth. That's how we do it. And when enough of us do it, believe me, people will start to notice. People will start to notice. We can have happy families. We can attract the women who want to be with us, not the women who want our money. You can attract women who will stand by you when you have nothing. Like, to be fair to my parents, as bad as their relationship was, I remember when they had nothing material, they had very little. And they had their ups and downs. They had a lot of horrible things. But when I think about it now, they're together for 30 years before my mother passed away. She got ill and she died. But 30 years is quite a long time. It's a lifetime. Well, so she was with him. And when he got into quite a lot of money, They still fought. They always were fighting, but they were together. I never even really thought about it till now. So there are women who will be with you with nothing, and you can lead the right woman, right? So the takeaway from today is you don't have to earn your value. Most of the society does think you have to do that, and the truth is a lot of women do think you have to earn your value. You have to discard all that from your life. Any woman who thinks you have to impress her, you let her go. And you will know the difference if you allow yourself to just go out and meet more women with a different mindset. And it is not a mindset of, oh, I'm trying to act like I'm the prize so that women want me. No, 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 no. You don't even have to go that far. You go out of the mindset knowing that you are the right guy for who you are, and that there's a woman who is worthy of becoming part of what you do. And that's the one you're allowed to be in your life, and you see the difference. You will see the difference in how she treats you. You will see it from the moment you say hello. And the fact that you've met her doesn't mean jump into a relationship with her, by the way, right? Still take your time, still meet some other girls, you still get some experience. But never believe that you have to earn your value. You were born with your value. You were born with your value. And every single woman who doesn't think that is the wrong woman for you. And you have to trust, you have to have faith that there is a woman, there are women who think you have value just as you are. So I'm going to end it on that. Thank you so much. Put your questions, put your comments, put your agreements or disagreements. Let me know what you think. This is John Paul from bravefathers.com. Go on the link below if you need help with your family court case. If you're in the UK, I can help you with the whole process. If you live outside, I have a small network of really good people who can help. Associates that I know that I don't make any money from, but I know they are good people. So you can jump on a call. I'll direct you to the right person to help you. So go to the link below to get help with your family court case if you're a father struggling to see your kids, and especially if you are facing false allegations. So thank you so much for joining me today. This is John Paul from bravefathers.com. I'll see you again soon. All the best. Thank you.
bravefathers.com